Good morning, everyone. Wayne Bolden. I'm here at the Speed King channel. It is Saturday morning, and we're literally 2 weeks out from the Kentucky Derby. We thought we would profile a few horses this weekend and next week, and we're going to take a look at the bluegrass runners that finished first and second, Sierra Leone, and of course, Just a Touch. But before we dial into the profile of these two Kentucky Derby contenders for sure, please turn your closed captions on if you haven't. Please subscribe. We can use your support. And remember, our tip sheets for the Kentucky Oaks Friday, May 3rd, are $20. And of course, our Kentucky Derby, 14 races. Tip sheets are $20 as well. Please get your orders in, pre-orders. Thanks everybody for getting orders in. But if you haven't, please do so by emailing me at speedking24 at yahoo.com and or text us 732-804-0637 so we can get you on the list, get your payments and stuff out of the way, and go from there. Well, I thought it was important to look at the bluegrass runners that finished first and second. I mean, obviously, these two horses are contenders, Sierra Leone and Just a Touch, respectfully. We'll take a look at the bluegrass winner himself. Well, this is a serious racehorse, right? Sierra Leone. The horse, obviously, there's a big upside with only 4 starts, undefeated as a 3-year-old, 2 for 2. Overall record, 3 wins from 4 starts with 1 second. Well on his way to becoming a very, very good equine racehorse. I think they paid $2.3 million for this one by the son of Gunrunner. And everybody knows how I feel about Gunrunner, who was trained by Steve Asmussen. I thought he should have won the Derby in, I believe it was 2016. And on the back end by Malibu Moon. Chad Brown is doing the conditioning and obviously a top-notch trainer, and so he has a lot of plus Sierra Leone in his corner as well as his rider. I'm a big fan of Tyler Gaffleon, the smooth Tyler Gaffleon. And again, Derek Smith, Michael Tabor. I mean, everything's here for this horse. This is a serious racehorse, and he's only going to get better. But out of all the horses in the Derby, I think the post position draw affects Sierra Leone the least because of his running style, right? So I think that's a big plus for him. I think the negative, if there's any, he doesn't have much early speed. And traditionally, other than the last 2 Derbies, it looks like he's going to need a little pace in front of him faster than normal, okay? Obviously, in the last 2 years, when Richie Strike and Mage won, they came from the back of the pack, but those was blistering figures up front. It was very fast. And traditionally, in the last 10 years, prior to the last 2, horses that win the Derby are either sitting in the first, second, third, fourth spot at the half-mile pole, okay? The game has changed quite a bit than it did 20 years ago with deep closers. Again, opposed to the last 2 last years. Richie Strike and Mage, of course. So it puts him, if there's any negative or in terms of race flow, I think he's going to need a little help up front, a faster than normal pace, in order to pick up the top flight of horses. Now, how much did this horse improve off of the bluegrass? Obviously, he only has 4 starts, and he obviously learned something. I went back and I watched the bluegrass with Just a Touch running second. The splits were pretty fast. I think Top Connor set the pace, 23:46, 110 at the, almost 3/4, and or at the 6 furlongs. Yeah, it was pretty fast up front, and he had a pretty trouble trip, took a lot of dirt, was 5 or 6 wide at the top of the lane. Things set up nicely for him, for sure. That being said, at worst case, I don't know any handicapper or horse player like you folks in the community that see any reason at worst why this horse wouldn't hit the board. It's hard to see that, as you look at the 20 and the way that he's running and his connections and the way that he won the Bluegrass. Now, am I ready to make him the winner? Well, I'm not ready to make anyone the winner just yet. But he's a serious threat. I don't like his balance in terms of his breeding. I know he's by Gun Runner, but he's just missing a little speed to be a little closer than last or next to last or back there at 13th or 14th in the field. So it's really going to depend on race flow and pace to me in here. But that being said, this is a very, very serious horse. I know he's going to get a beautiful ride from Thoroughbred Leone. You can always count on that. And again, he's going to be ready because Chad Brown is a master conditioner. Even though we know him for the turf, he knows what he's doing. So again, Sierra Leone wouldn't surprise me as a wise guy horse if this horse don't go favorite over Fierceness, right? I just think he might be a little compromised with the pace. If it's a blistering pace, you're right. This horse is going to be very, very tough. But if it's a normal, fast pace, a normal race, he may be sucking up underneath. But that being said, I don't know how you can knock him. You can't. 3 wins from 4 starts, 1 second. Upside is coming. All the things are there for him. Let's talk a little bit about him, how much you folks like him, what you think about him. That's my quick analysis of him, of course. I need to wait for the post position draw, which I think it affects him the least. And then I also need to wait, of course, to see the odds and things like that. So I think at worst case, this horse has to be put on verticals, right? Exacta tries and superfectors, right? Serious racehorse, Sierra Leone, right? Very, very nice. The runner-up in the Bluegrass, I actually thought this horse ran a better race than Sierra Leone. And the reason that I say that, just a touch, by the Triple Crown winner, Justify, I'm going to put an asterisk there. On the back end by Tap It, this horse is bred tremendously. This horse is what we like to call, I love looking at breeding and dosage index and stuff like that. This horse is well balanced, not only with speed, but able to get the distance of 10 furlongs. And that's typically the issue with the Kentucky Derby. Not that the 20 horses are not talented, okay? They ever are talented, because you don't get in the gate in the Derby not being talented from thousands and thousands of 3-year-olds in the country, right? In their own right. But this horse, to me, just a touch, by Justify, tapped it on the back end. It's Brad Cox, of course. He's a merry horse. Got his boy in the arm, Flo. Want to see which one Flo takes, because I think Brad may have 3 in there, so keep an eye on that. But we have to remember, when this horse went into the Bluegrass, this horse only had 2 starts at that time, right? So right now his record is 3 starts, and he only has 1 win. Unlike the winner of the Bluegrass, he has 4 starts, he has 3 wins. So you can imagine how much this horse may have improved, or they're looking for him to improve. There's a lot to like with the runner-up in this year's Bluegrass Stakes for sure. Being by a Triple Crown winner, trained by Brad Cox and his band of horses. And yeah, you got to like this one. Again, at worst case, you think, why wouldn't this horse hit the board? Not only does he has enough speed to sit in the catbird seat if he doesn't get the lead, which I don't think he will in here with Fierceness and a couple others, but this horse could sit just like he did behind Top Connor in the 3rd or 4th spot. And that's where you want to be traditionally in the last 10 years in the Derby, somewhere in that first tier, that first flank of runners. I think there's a big, big upside to Just a Touch. And again, I think this horse, he chased Top Connor around the racetrack that day, put him away, and it looks like he drew even with him at the top of the lane, and then he got kind of spurt. I watched the way he ran out, after the wire, and him and Sierra Leone was neck and neck around the track, so he did finish out fairly well. The upside is that the horse only had 2 starts going into the Bluegrass. right? Okay. He had 2 starts going into the Bluegrass, coming off out of the Gotham Stakes over there at Aqueduct where he ran second. So again, he had to learn something out of the Bluegrass. He actually took the lead into deep stretch into the 16th pole until Sierra come rolling down the lane. So I'm a big fan of this horse, to be quite honest with you, and I think this horse, it could make some noise in this year's Derby, just because he has the breeding to go 10 furlongs, and that he's going to be forwardly placed in a pretty good spot, barring the break, barring the weather, right? We just hope it's a clean weather day for sure. Bred very well. And here's the thing. I think you're going to get very, very fair odds, okay, on this horse. 10 to 1 or better. I mean, think about it. Sierra Leone's probably going to be the favorite, a co-favorite, probably a co-favorite behind Fiercest at 7 to 2 or 3 to 1 or 9 to 2. And then the runner-up behind him, Sierra Leone in the Bluegrass, would be double digits. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So just from a value standpoint, I think you have to look at it that way as well. So there's the 2 profile. These are 2 serious horses. Sierra Leone, the winner of the Bluegrass, and again the Merry Horse, just a touch by the Triple Crown winner, Justified by, trained by, of course, Brad. Wanted to profile both of these Bluegrass runners, and I think there's some big upside in here for sure. Someone's going to have to be very, very good to beat the top 3 or 4 horses in this year's Derby, of course, right? And these are 2 of the horses that I think has a great shot to at least make some noise, turn it for home, for sure. Tell me what you think. Let's have a healthy discussion. I don't think you can knock either one of these. There's some positives, just positives on both of them for sure. Talk to y'all real soon. Let's have a healthy discussion as we profile Sierra Leone. And of course, Just a Touch by the Triple Crown winner for sure. My name is Wayne Bolden. I am your Speed King. There's your profile on the 2 Bluegrass finisher, first and second.